Flip the coin backstage. Gator 1. Gator, you want to kick off or receive?
I'll receive.
All right. Question 1 goes to Gator.
All right, Gator, here we go. Our kickoff rules remain the same, so you just received the first question. And Doug, you'll after that. All right, here we go. Ex-rugby football star or rugby star Louis Rees-Zammit is signing with the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a big-time football rugby star, and he showed out with his speed, some athleticism. What sport do you guys think makes the best football players? Any position?
I think it's basketball. I think you look at the speed that those players have at the size that they have. I mean, they can. I would think they would make amazing defensive backs with their ability to have the hip turn, the fast twitch, and all that. I think it'd be great wide receivers, and also obviously tight end. You know, you get these guys that can be 6'7" power forwards, 6'9" power forwards. Can they play tight end? I'd be terrified to line up against them.
Australian rules football produces an insane percentage of punters. I have done 29 Michigan games, and over half of them, the opposing team has had a punter from Australia. So there's a group called Pro Kick Australia that apparently takes Aussie rules players and just feeds U.S. colleges punters. So I'm going to go Aussie rules football punters.
Gator, I really like your answer. I think probably is the right answer because basketball with athleticism, guys are big, strong already. But I tried to go with something different. I'm going to go with soccer for kickers. Brandon Aubrey, what he did with the Cowboys, being a former college soccer player, I think we're going to see more soccer players transition into field goal kickers because you have to have a booming leg now. I mean, it's on 50-yard field goals are like 30-yard field goals now, right? I mean, you have to have a kicker on your roster that can boot a 60-yarder, or at least attempt a 60-yarder. So I think soccer is going to be the next sport. We're going to see a lot of guys coming from there and playing football.
I think we're all right.
I'd like to all be right. All right, there is suddenly a lot of talk about quarterback J.J. McCarthy possibly going as high as number 2 overall in the NFL draft. Is this rise of McCarthy legit, or is this just more draft smokescreen?
Well, do you trust Vegas? Because DraftKings has moved McCarthy from plus 2,500 to be the second pick to plus 500 after his pro day. Look, when it comes to pre-draft rumors, I believe everything and I believe nothing. It's so hard to know. Mock drafts are a guessing game, and they start to morph into groupthink where there's a consensus that is formed. I think if we did mock drafts for like another 6 months, by the end of it, everybody's mock draft would look exactly the same. And it's all just guessing. Is it possible? Yes. Is it the stats? No, but it's the menu of throws that he made at Michigan that the NFL scouts are drooling all over it. So I think it's real.
I think it's smoke-y. I think that you look at this, it is misinformation season without a doubt. I mean, teams are trying to get interest for maybe they want to trade back and they want somebody to come on up and offer them something huge for those picks. But I don't think he goes number 2 overall. That part I think is smoke. I think Jaden Daniels is the guy for that spot. But we'll see. I mean, I've been wrong with quarterbacks before, so.
Well, I'm going to give the cop-out answer here. I think it's a little bit of both because it is definitely smokescreen season. I do think, though, that a lot of media did not really believe J.J. McCarthy was even a first-round pick when he entered his name into the draft, let alone a top 2 pick. So they're all like, well, what is this? But the pro scouts always believe in projections and what you're going to do at the next level, what you did in college necessarily. The smokescreen part, I think, is because this is way too much information, way too fast. It is coming at from every angle. I feel like everyone's like, well, number 2 pick, and Tony Pierce is talking about all. Why are they openly talking about this so much? Is it because they actually want Jaden Daniels and they want McCarthy to be pushed up ahead? So I think it's more, like I said, if I had to pick my 51, it's probably more smoke, but I definitely think that he's going to go a lot higher than people thought.
Real quick to both of you, would you take him 2nd overall?
I mean, that's a big question. It depends on my team.
Are you Washington Commanders? Do you take him?
Sure.
I wouldn't be opposed to taking him 2nd overall.
I would not.
The NFL, they will have 2 games on Christmas this year, which falls on a Wednesday. This means at some point during the 2024 NFL season, the NFL will air a game every day of the week except for Tuesday at some point. as you guys know, I've been saying for years that the NFL is going to have a game every single day of the week at some point. Guys, is this overkill or do we just need to embrace this football every day?
It's overkill because I believe on that week they'll have a game Sunday, Monday, nothing Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday. I think they play Thursday that week, or it's Thursday the week before they play. They'll play Saturday because it's that late in the season. You got the Saturday games. It's overkill. I mean, I love the NFL, and of course I will watch it. It's not like I'm not going to watch it. I will, but the hypocrisy of the NFL with it just continues. You can't preach player safety and then schedule all these weeks where you're having short turnarounds for teams, particularly late in the season.
If this happens, we're all getting divorced. You can't have football every night of the week because we are going to watch it. And we are going to completely ignore our household duties. We're all getting divorced. You can't do this to us, NFL. We need some days to make deposits into the bank of goodwill so that we can overdose on football on the weekends. You do this to us every night of the week, we'll stop preparing for work. Kids will stop doing homework. Husbands will stop doing their honey-do lists. We're all getting divorced. You can't do this. For the betterment of America, don't do this.
Well, once again, I'm going with a cop-out answer. It's both. It's definitely overkill, and I'm going to embrace it because we have no choice. When they first started putting Thursday night games more often, I was like, I don't like this, guys. I don't like this. Saturday games. And then I told you, high school football, they don't care. Now they're going to do Friday games. They do Friday games. Wednesday. They're going to have games on Wednesday. It is coming. We need to embrace the overkill. There will be a game, an NFL game, every day of the week coming at some point soon, guys. It's happening. Monday Night Football, Tuesday Night Football, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They know that we watch, and it gets the best ratings all the time, and it's all about money. All right, what team has had your favorite offseason so far?
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields for a 6th-round pick and $1.2 million. That's two guys that can start for you, one that might be able to win in a healthier situation under Mike Tomlin and Russ, and the other that might be your quarterback of the future. Both of those things for a 6th-round pick and $1.2 million is an incredible bargain.
Yeah, I consider them as well. Don't forget they signed Patrick Queen as well. I mean, linebacker just seems to be the perfect position for the Steelers. They'd love to turn him into greatness. But for me, it's one move. But I love what they did, and that's the Texans. They signed Danielle Hunter. He's going to be a bookend pass rusher with Will Anderson. I mean, he's already the guy, and now Will Anderson's in the embryonic stages of his career. Good luck being the quarterback in that division with those two guys coming at you all the time.
So for me, it was between the Steelers and Bears, which is ironic because they made a trade with each other. I couldn't go with the Bears because the return they got for Justin Fields was just nothing. So I went with the Steelers, the team who got him for nothing. Doug, you're right. They got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, two very high-ceiling quarterbacks, which they made the playoffs without high-ceiling. Kenny Pickett, whoever, Mason Rudolph. Steelers have a bad year. They still make the playoffs. Imagine if they had a good quarterback. You throw in Patrick Queen, like you said, Gator. Cordell Patterson with the new kickoff rules. That's another signing I like. They traded Deontay Johnson for Dante Jackson. Maybe that helps George Pickens. There was rumors that Johnson was a bad influence on him. So I like what the Steelers did. They're going to make the playoffs again because they always do. They actually might make some noise this time around. All right, college football and college sports is actually talking about it. Should the NFL do the same? College football and college sports are talking about getting rid of player prop bets. Should the NFL do the same with player prop bets?
First of all, I think college should do away. They should do everything they can to get rid of player prop bets. And no, the NFL doesn't need to because there are plenty of eyes on the product to keep it in check. And there are far fewer teams to worry about in the NFL. They've already been dealing with this for a long time. I think they have it down in the NFL. You don't have to worry about that as much. But I'd love to see it removed from college just to try to keep the integrity there.
Yeah, the thing in the NFL is that the players that can most easily manipulate the player props are the players with the football in their hands, and they all make so much money that I find it probably they won't be as tempted as the college kids are, especially at some of the lower levels of college football. So I don't think they need to do that yet, but I would keep an eye on it.
So for the integrity of the game, they should. They're not going to because money, like I said from my previous questions, money rules all. Now, the players you'll be looking at to use the player props in their advantage would be like I think third, fourth string receivers, right, where the over under is really low and they can all of a sudden have a calf injury or whatever. Like I said, for the integrity, they should. They're not going to, and they can, regulate it better because you're right, Gator. There's less teams, there's more eyeballs on it, so they're not going to get rid of it. So, but college, I agree, get rid of it. All right, some rapid fire here. The NFL made some rule changes. I'm not going to go through all of them, but here's 3 of them. I'm going to need you to either love it or hate it. New kickoff rule. It's going to be very similar to the XFL, which means they're going to get more returns, but you will get no surprise onside kick. Love it or hate it?
I actually love it. I think it's going to bring back the kickoff, which has been ceremonial last 20 years. It's gone from 88.7% of kickoffs returned to 21.8%. I'm glad it's back.
It's convoluted, but I more love it until the Lions give up multiple kickoff returns for touchdowns, and I'll hate it.
Yeah, if I have to love it or hate it, I'm going to love it just because you get more returns. I just go back to the old ways where, like now you're pretending to care about player safety. We know you don't. Next one, the NFL getting rid of hip drop tackle. Love it or hate it?
I love it. Along with the swivel technique, of course, you have to add that into there. I think it creates too many injuries, and it feels like it's just it's a new fad in tackling. I don't remember this being such an epidemic years ago, but it sure looks like they're doing it now.
I thought I'd love it, but then I saw video of some examples of what they're calling hip drops, and some of them don't look like hip drops to me. So I'm going to go with hate it for now until I see how it's applied. Some of the video looks like normal tackles, and I'm like, what are we doing to football?
Yeah, I hate it. I think this is just more advantages for the offense, and I get it because that's what the league cares about is offensive players. You have little defensive backs trying to take out humongous tight ends. It's almost impossible for them. Now they're going to make it even more impossible. And this is going to be a big controversy throughout the season, Doug. You're right. There's going to be penalties called or not called, and people are going to bitch because no one knows what a hip drop tackle is. All right, next one and last one. Coaches no longer have to win their first 2 challenges to get a third challenge. Now they only have to win one of their first 2 challenges to be awarded a third challenge. Love it or hate it?
I hate it. More stoppages, more sitting around. I don't like replay as it is. There's too many stoppages in football, and nobody thinks we've achieved perfection.
I love it. I thought it was stupid to begin with that you would lose it. I mean, if you win a challenge, you should be able to keep it. I think it makes all the sense in the world. Get it right.
I hate it. Stoppages, like you said, Doug. And also, I think part of it is strategic. You got to know when to use it because you can't just, whenever you want, feel like challenging because you only have to get one right to get another one.
And that concludes the Wide 9 Omaha 4 down around the league blitz thingy.